All right, good morning, everyone. I was guided today through this card, which burned. I've been saying for the last few days that I've been worried about my cards burning, and today it happened. Funny enough, it happened on this card, which is the Veil of Shadows, which is about accepting the ugly parts of yourself. So really interesting because I'm a perfectionist and I don't like things that are not perfect. And I am struggling to accept this burn mark on her face, no doubt. But I understand the lesson here. So we are guided today to look at the parts of yourself you believe are ugly, that need to be healed and loved. Okay, or not even healed, just need to be loved. Yeah. Healed is... the root of the word healed is whole, so brought into the wholeness, loved and included and brought into your whole self is what we mean when we say healed in this regard. So we have 3 piles here. I'm going to open the energy, let you pick your pile, and then we'll go from there. What a gentle, gentle tone that was. Beautiful. Whoops. then I did that. All right, if you haven't picked your pile, you can pause the video and do so, but I'm going to get started with my first pile and see what parts of yourself do you find ugly and are in need of acceptance and love, okay, in order to be healed and become part of the whole you. All right, let's see. They're asking me to cut the cards. Interesting. All right. Achiever, accomplishment, failure. So since we're looking at the ugly parts, I don't know, you might find achievement ugly. You know, you might find celebrity ugly. You might find competition ugly. You might find failure ugly. So there's, as you can see, you know, some people might say this is the positive side and this is the negative side, or this is all the positive side and that's the negative side. But it depends what you find ugly, what you find ugly in yourself. Maybe you're you know, a bad loser or a terrible winner. Like maybe you gloat and, you know, that kind of stuff. So that would be making this ugly. Maybe you see celebrity as ugly, so you don't want to ever, you know, be recognized for anything, because celebrity is being recognized, right? Maybe you see failure as ugly, so you're afraid of failure. I don't know, but you'll know what this means, okay? So we're going to get a few, I hear 3 of these, and then we're going to talk about how to deal with them, I guess, or what to do. Oh, okay. We have, how many, what are we doing here? No, keep going, okay? The reason I have to keep going is I put the one that they wanted to come out back in by mistake. There we go, here it is. Ooh, rebel, nonconformist, anarchist, activist, revolutionary. So some people might see these as really great things, really positive things. You might see these as ugly things. You know, you might see these as things that are not desirable to be, or not, you know, maybe you've suffered by being one. I don't know. But let's just keep going here. We're going to get the 3rd card. Here it is. Flipped itself over here. Ooh, abusive relationship. So maybe you were in an abusive relationship. You were either the abuser or the abused. Maybe you just see that as ugly. Maybe you know someone that's in one and you judge it. You know, abused, enabler, rescuer, abuser. You might be the rescuer. So, okay. So regardless of what your conscious being tells you see these things as, what this reading is telling us is that these are the parts of yourself that you're not accepting and not loving, okay? So, whether you're conscious of that or not, these are the parts of yourself that you're not accepting and not loving. And basically, we are all things. So even if we haven't been this in this lifetime, these are past life cards. We may have been that in a past life, and so, if this really triggers you in this lifetime, but you've never experienced it, but you judge it harshly, and you will not accept it exists in the world, maybe you were one of these. You had this experience in a past life, or maybe you just just can't handle it. That part of humanity. But what we are here to understand is that we are all of humanity. We are all, and all is us. So whatever we're rejecting, not accepting within ourselves, is going to keep coming to us, looking for acceptance and love. Okay? So, what is the advice that you want to give this group? How do you want me to seek? What is the advice? Do you want me to read this card? Read the beginning of that card, okay? Here we go. A lotus blossoms with the deep, rich mud into which she plunges her roots and draws great nourishment. From this mud, made of water and earth, growth happens and great beauty is revealed. Your soul, lotus, thrives through depth of emotion and aliveness of your body, into which she can plant herself and unfold as a lotus of light. Okay. In the spiritual worlds, all things serve, everything, including our darker emotions and parts of our body that we may not think are acceptable. They are actually good nourishment for our soul. The soul craves to love and be in love with all parts of you. Like a passionate divine lover, it wants to hold nothing back and become completely spiritually intimate with all aspects and all parts of you, whether you have thought they were lovable or not. This can be challenging because it can feel extremely uncomfortable to visit and consciously engage with those aspects of your personality and our bodies that we have yet to really love and accept. Yet this is what you are guided to embrace now. Okay. So, is there anything else that you need me to say, do, tell, me, whatever, for this group? So we've uncovered, whether you know it consciously or not, what you're not accepting and loving about yourself. Okay? And how are you going to do this? Okay, well, there's a process I use. So if, say, it's failure that I'm not accepting and loving, I would go through the process of saying, I choose to allow the failure I am. I choose to accept the failure I am. I choose to acknowledge the failure I am. I choose to remember the failure I am. I choose to reveal the failure I am. I choose to recognize the failure I am. I choose to receive the failure I am. I choose to forgive the failure I am. I choose to trust the failure I am. I choose to honor the failure I am. I choose to value the failure I am. I choose to believe in the failure I am. I choose to understand the failure I am. I choose to love the failure I am. I choose to be the failure I am. I choose to surrender the failure I am. I am the failure I am. The failure I am is me. And that's how I shift the energy from being outside of me to being within me, to being part of me, and to being accepted and loved by me. Now, you might have to do this a few times. Sometimes you get stuck. Sometimes you can't remember the word. Sometimes you can't move through it so quickly. It's a process, but you can do that with each of these words that you see here. Failure, competitor, achiever, celebrity. Anarchist, nonconformist, activist, revolutionary, rebel. You can do it with accomplishment too. Abused, rescuer, abuser, enabler, abusive relationship. So it's called shadow work. Some people call it shadow work. Some people call it other things. I don't really know. I saw 808. Well, I was doing this in the 929, so I'm going to look at the 808. You are in a position of strength. Trust that all is in order and remain focused on your truth. And then I saw 929. Let's see. 929. You are moving into a peaceful and serene space. Take the opportunity to replenish yourself through mindfulness and self-care. Okay. And those are just two messages that wanted to come through. So yeah, I think this is a very straightforward guidance. These are the things they want you to look at today, the energies they want you to focus on, and they want you to come to a place of acceptance, love, and wholeness with. All right? That's it for my pile number 1. You guys go have a beautiful, beautiful day. All right, pile number 2. Let's see what aspects of yourself want some love. Ooh, poverty. So we see lower class, dispossessed, beggar, famine. So this could be in this lifetime. It could be in another lifetime, right? So, and this could be, I'm hearing, this is the past life card, but with you, I'm hearing this could be past life or future life. So it's important that we get this to a place of being loved and healed and accepted, because, otherwise you're going to keep creating it. So what we do when we're not accepting something, when we don't like something, when we find it unacceptable in the world, in ourselves, in just in general, we draw it to ourselves because it wants to be loved and accepted, okay? And part of the whole. Healing, the root of the word healing is being whole, and it wants to be part of the whole, okay? The whole of you. So, yeah, we're going to get 3 cards, so we're going to keep going. Something in the throat chakra just came up very, very strong. All right, there we go. There's the next one. Ooh, insanity, delusions, hallucinations, mania, and hysteria. So we don't like that either, this group. Okay. You may consciously know that you don't like this, or you might not be aware that you don't like this. Okay. Ooh, revolution, proletariat, reign of terror, war or uprising, wealthy, elite. Ooh, with this and this, that's pretty heavy stuff. That's really interesting. Like this is, and this is all like a lot of historical stuff. So there's probably some past life healing happening here for sure for this group. And we don't want to bring this into our future lives. That's what I'm hearing. So we want to heal this today. We want to bring this into the wholeness of ourselves. We want to love and accept it so that it doesn't keep showing up in a way that isn't something we can handle, I guess, or something we can accept. Okay? I don't know. That's not making a lot of sense. I know. Sorry about that, but maybe it'll become more clear as I talk more. So I'm going to read a part from this card, the Veil of Shadows, that they want me to read to you. Here we go. In the spiritual worlds, all things serve, everything, including our darker emotions and parts of our body that we may not think are acceptable. They are actually good nourishment for our soul. The soul craves to love and be in love with all parts of you. Like a passionate divine lover, it wants to hold nothing back and become completely spiritually intimate with all aspects and all parts of you, whether you have thought they were lovable or not. This can be challenging because it can feel extremely uncomfortable to visit and consciously engage with those aspects of our personality and our bodies that we have yet to really love and accept. Yet, this is what you are guided to embrace now. Okay? So you are guided to embrace these parts of you, these parts of humanity, these parts of the world, the universe, these parts of the all. All right? So I'm going to walk you through a process that helps with that. So say we're choosing the word poverty. We don't like poverty. Okay? So we go through this. I choose to allow poverty. I choose to accept poverty. I choose to acknowledge poverty. I choose to remember poverty. I choose to reveal poverty. I choose to recognize poverty. I choose to receive poverty. I choose to trust poverty. I choose to forgive poverty. I choose to value poverty. I choose to honor poverty. I choose to believe in poverty. I choose to understand poverty. I choose to love poverty. I choose to be poverty. I choose to surrender poverty. I am poverty. Poverty is me. And that is a process to move you through the acceptance of it, the allowing of it, the loving of it, the being of it, okay? And brings it into wholeness with you, okay? So then it's not so scary, it's not so upsetting, it's not so anything. It just is. It's part of the all, right? You can do this with all of these words on these cards, okay? That's what you're being guided to do. So do it with all of these words on these cards. I'm going to hold them up one by one, okay? And you can do it. Do that process. And you might have to do it a few times. You might get stuck on one of the words, like you might not want to forgive poverty. You might not want to trust it. That might feel uneasy to you. It might not come easily for you. So you might need to shift and think, do some work. I don't know what kind of work, meditate on it, whatever you want to do to move that forward if you can't say it easily. But when you can say that, go through that process and say things easily with these words, you know that you have integrated them into your being, okay? And these are what the things that they want, your guides are guiding you to integrate into your being so that they're not an issue for you, okay? Moving forward. I hope that makes sense. I hope this helps, and I hope you have a beautiful day. All right, my third group. Let's see what parts of yourself need some love today. All right. Oh. Extraterrestrial. Early Earth dweller. Close encounter. Off-worlder. And watcher or guardian. Interesting. Okay. What else? We're going to get 3 cards. Here we go. Savior or hero. Saintly. Philanthropist. Caretaker. Martyr. Interesting. What a group you are. There we go. This one. Ooh. World War. Allied defender. Allied invader. Holocaust and Hiroshima. Wow. Yeah, this is a interesting group. Okay, these are the parts of yourself that want some love, the parts of humanity that want some love from you, the parts of yourself and humanity and of all of the universe that want some love from you, okay, that you're not loving right now, it seems. That's what this is saying. And we're going to look up 1818. That message wants to come through right now. Let's look it up. You are embarking on a life-changing journey. The outcome will be positive and enriching experiences. Trust the process. Okay, so trust this process that we're going through right now. So these, you might be thinking, she's crazy. What is she talking about, right? But just trust the process. So this card, I'm going to read something from this card, and it'll help understand what this process is, and then we'll go from there. So let's go to this thing. Okay, so in the spiritual worlds, all things serve, everything, including our darker emotions and parts of our body that we may not think are acceptable. They are actually good nourishment for our soul. The soul craves to love and be in love with all parts of you. Like a passionate divine lover, it wants to hold nothing back and become completely spiritually intimate with all aspects and all parts of you, whether you have thought they were lovable or not. This can be challenging because it can feel extremely uncomfortable to visit and consciously engage with those aspects of our personality and our bodies that we have yet to really love and accept. Yet, this is what you are guided to embrace now. Okay, so this is what you're guided to embrace now. Okay, So the process I'm guided to share with you around this is the following, and I'm going to choose one of these cards to look at. Let's look at World War, okay? So the process goes like this. I choose to allow World War. I choose to accept World War. I choose to acknowledge World War. I choose to remember World War. I choose to reveal World War. I choose to recognize World War. I choose to receive World War. I choose to forgive World War. I choose to trust World War. I choose to honor World War. I choose to value World War. I choose to believe in World War. I choose to understand World War. I choose to love World War. I choose to be World War. I choose to surrender World War. I am World War. World War is me. Now, some of that might not make sense to you, but this is integrating something that exists. World War exists. It exists, we know, into the all. It's allowing it to be part of the whole. The root of the word heal is whole. So in order to heal anything, we have to allow it to be part of the whole. We have to integrate it into the wholeness of us, like this card is saying, right? The soul doesn't want to hold anything back. The soul wants to love and be in love with all of us, the whole of us, the whole of humanity, the whole of the world, the whole of the universe, right? So even the aspects and parts of us that we have thought were not lovable, okay? So you can do this. This is your guidance today, is to do this process and to trust this process and do this process with each of the words on these cards, okay? I hope it helps, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful day. Thanks. Bye-bye now.